In a small, forgotten town on the edge of the city lived a poor boy named Ethan Gray. His house was nothing more than a wooden shack, patched with metal sheets that rattled every time the wind blew. His mother worked as a cleaner, his father had passed away when he was 9, and life had always been a non-stop struggle. But Ethan carried something special: consistency. He didn't know fancy words, didn't have money, and didn't have connections. What he had was discipline, even when life felt unfair. Every day before school, Ethan delivered newspapers. He woke up at 4:30 a.m., tied the newspapers on his rusty bicycle, and rode through cold mornings and rainy days. He earned just a few dollars, but he saved every single one. One day, while delivering to a wealthy neighborhood, he saw something that sparked a fire inside him. A man in his early 30s stepped out of a big house, talking confidently on the phone about business, deals, and opportunities. Ethan whispered to himself, "One day, I'll speak like that. I'll live like that." He didn't know how, he didn't know when, but the dream was planted. One afternoon at school, Ethan's old computer teacher introduced basic coding. While other students got bored and gave up, Ethan felt something new, a spark. He stayed after school watching free tutorials on an ancient school computer that froze every 5 minutes. At home, he didn't have a laptop. He didn't even have internet, so he borrowed the school's laptop every weekend by convincing the librarian he needed it for extra study. Every weekend, he sat on the floor of his small room and practiced for hours. One day, his mother said gently, "Ethan, you work too hard. Take a break." He smiled. "I'm building something, Mom. Please trust me." And she did. On the fourth attempt, Ethan got a tiny job worth $20. Most people would laugh at that amount, but to Ethan, it felt like $1 million. He completed the project in 2 hours, sent it to the client, and waited nervously. The client responded, "Perfect, I'll hire you again." For the first time in his life, Ethan felt hope, not as a dream, but as a reality. By age 18, Ethan had completed hundreds of small projects. He saved enough to buy a used laptop, then a new one, then a desk, then a good chair. Slowly, brick by brick, life was changing. He soon learned marketing, design, and business strategies from YouTube and free online courses. He worked every day, no weekends, no breaks, no vacations. While people partied, Ethan improved his skills. One night, while looking at his progress, he whispered to himself, "Consistency, this is what people underestimate." And he was right. At 21, Ethan launched his own digital agency from his bedroom. At first, no one took him seriously, but he kept working. He emailed 500 businesses, only 3 replied, 1 hired him. But that one client became his gateway. Within a year, Ethan began hiring freelancers to help him. Within 2 years, he rented a small office. Within 3 years, he had 25 employees. His agency helped businesses grow online. He became known for reliability and honesty, values he learned from hardship. One cold morning, Ethan drove through the same neighborhood where he had delivered newspapers as a kid. He stood outside the big house, the same one where he first saw that businessman years ago. Except now, Ethan wasn't delivering newspapers. He was driving his own car, running his own company, living his own dream. He closed his eyes and whispered, "I made it, Dad. I made it, Mom." With success came responsibility. Ethan built a free computer learning center in his old town. He wanted poor kids just like him, to have opportunities he never had. At the opening ceremony, he said, "I'm not successful because I'm smart. I'm successful because I didn't quit. Consistency beats everything." The crowd applauded, and his mother cried silently. Tears of pride, not pain. Ethan's story proves something simple but powerful. You don't need money, you don't need talent, you don't need connections. All you need is consistency. A little progress every single day, brick by bricks, step by step. That's how a poor boy became a successful entrepreneur. Not overnight, not by luck, but by never stopping.